on camera, off camera, angle of coverage, angle of rejection. Where do you point the sound shark? Hold on a second. There's no way you can make this confusing. I tell you what, we've got a little bitty kind of guideline that we go with, and that is that we find out how far away our subject is from the sound shark using the standard microphone that comes with, the affordable microphone that comes with the sound shark when you buy it from Sound Shark, right? If you're 10 feet away from your subject, you can count on a circle of 5 feet worth of premium quality sound. Well, using my trusty Stanley power lock, I am 3 feet away from my camera. Of course, we're outside. You can see snow behind me, so it'll be very easy for you to see exactly the range of coverage on a sound shark. So I've drawn an arc in the snow down here, and I'm going to move on over this way just a little bit, and I'm going to talk in my normal voice. So that way you'll know that after a while, you're going to find out that it's going to get kind of hard to hear me. So when I'm all the way off to the side and I'm talking, notice how much sound you don't hear. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, let's go back to the center. Now, of course, it is parabolic, meaning it's hemispherical, actually. So it's going to have the same collection of audio, top, bottom, left, right. So if I follow my little arc in the snow this way, we'll have the same effect once we go back all the way over here. And finally, when I get way back on the other side, you can't hear a lick of things I'm saying, right? Okay, let's move back to the spot that I normally shoot at. It's typically about 5 feet away. Here we go. Whoa, all right. There's my 5 feet away, outdoors. I can hear traffic from a rather busy street this way. Don't know if you can or not. But you'll notice I'm going to follow an arc that I measured with my tape measure. And you'll see that even though I'm 5 feet away, I'm still able to get pretty decent coverage. Of course, until I get way off to the side, which isn't going to matter because you're not going to be taking a picture of a person over there anyway, right? Right on. Well, that's one of the things that I really like about Sound Shark is it's not what it does record, but it's what it doesn't record. When you're way back here, you got absolutely nothing. Now, let's go back to outside our sweet spot, which is right here. Now, you notice we haven't adjusted the angle of the camera. There's no need to. When you're 10 feet away, you've got a circle that's about 5 feet of perfect sound. Now, when you start getting out of that 5 feet, right? Remember, 10 feet cut in half. I'm 10 feet away, cut that in half. That gives you my circle of really good sound quality. So, with my little tape measure, I'm able to go around here. I sound just fine, don't I? Sure. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to start falling out of that 5-foot circle. When we're working with Sound Shark, that we do have to pay attention to where it's pointed. And there are some times when we have to put either a swivel on it in order to get it to go up or down, or when we want to record something kind of creatively up off the way. Now, we also found out that whatever's in the background can be picked up pretty easy by your Sound Shark. So we as photographers have to be careful, not what's behind so much the camera, but what's in front of our camera and behind our subject. So sometimes we'll use sound blankets or some sort of sound absorption material, or we'll take our Sound Shark and we'll put it up higher on a light stand and then tilt it down. Why? Well, that means it's pointed down at the snow, and the snow doesn't reflect a whole lot of sound. Pretty smart stuff, right? Right on. If you want to go further than 10 feet, you'll find out you're probably going to need an amplifier, or if you have a camera that has an amplifier system built into it, go ahead and use it. But you will find out that that little kind of handy little rule is if you need to be 10 feet away, you're going to cover 5 feet worth of sound. Now, when you need to change that, we talked in earlier videos that you can then use the Sound Shark closer to your subject. Keep your camera position back 10, 20, 30 feet. Just move the Sound Shark in closer and connect it either wirelessly or with an audio recorder, or there's a gazillion different options. Check out some of our other videos and they'll help you with that type. Then we also have to consider how we're going to be handling that Sound Shark. How are we going to transport it? A lot of people look at it and they think, wow, look at that. Isn't that a little delicate? No way. That is polycarbonate, great hard plastic. It's clear. It doesn't scuff very easy. It's extremely durable. It does not get bent out of shape. And I carried it either in my backpack or in my camera bag, or even on the outside pouch of my camera bag as well. I have no problems at all. Now, let's talk about wind rejection. A lot of times I use on top of my cameras when I've got talking portrait work that I've got to do, I will use a shotgun microphone. And they look like this. That fuzzy little piece on the outside there is called a dead cat, and that's for wind reduction. Of course, the mirrorless cameras that I use have electronic wind reduction. Well, guess what? When I'm in windy conditions that give that microphone a little bit of trouble, they don't even show up on the Sound Shark. Now, the Sound Shark has great wind reduction. If you're going to be working outside, take Paul, the engineer at Sound Shark's advice, and use the little, we call it the little hairdo that goes on the top of the microphone there, the wind sock that goes on top. See it here? Go ahead and use that. Now, you don't really need that, to be honest with you, if you're working in the studio. But if you're going to be outside and there's any chance of wind coming past your Sound Shark, that will help a whole lot. But remember, the sound of like the wind going through the trees behind your subject, that will get picked up a lot more than your basic shotgun microphone. So what's the difference between using this kind of directional microphone and a Sound Shark? Well, this kind of mic kind of runs out of gas after a certain amount of distance. And if you're 40 feet away, there's no possible way it's going to record anything. Sound Shark really does have the ability to catch some of that background noise. So, remember in earlier videos, I talked about using a Sound Shark high and then pointing it down, right? That works out real terrific. Now, how about indoors? When we're talking about, say, shooting maybe kids' sports, or you've got a row of kids where you've got to do talking portraits. That's where Sound Shark just shines. That's where you mount that Sound Shark nice and high and point it down. I'm talking 10 feet up. Point it down on the kid. Try to keep it as close as you can to the kid. And then on the floor behind the kid so it's safe, you can put some sound blankets, or you can use some sound absorption foam I like a brand called Auralux. Seems to work really well too. So I'm using my Sound Shark not only to expand my business, but it gives me more options. I've got the ability to record from a desktop while I use a long lens. I've got the ability to put it way up high and remove background noise. But most importantly, it gives me the portability of premium quality sound, no matter if I use it indoors or outdoors. And I find, at least in my conditions, and I can only speak for the stuff that I've shot, and I've shot a ton with this, that I get much less wind noise using Sound Shark than I do any brand of the shotgun mics that mount on top of the cameras.